The following interview was conducted with Jennifer, who is in the late adult stage of life. She and her husband of 45 years live in a large single-family home next to a river on about 4 acres of property. Her husband was diagnosed with Alzheimer's about 4 years ago and has quickly regressed to a stage 6 with severe cognitive decline. Jennifer is the youngest of 3 girls, born and raised in Texas. Her mother passed away suddenly when she was 19 years old, and her father passed about 9 years ago. She has 2 adult sons and 5 young grandchildren. One son lives locally, the other lives in Tennessee with his wife and 2 children. Jennifer is a 65-year-old woman that is in Erickson's 8th stage of psychosocial development. The basic conflict of this stage is integrity versus despair. The important event is reflection on life. I found through our interview that Jennifer spends much of her days reflecting on what was and mourning the loss of what should have been. When asked what is different about this stage in her life, her response was that she thought when she and her husband were close to retirement that they would be living very differently than they are. Her husband was an educated, independent, and hardworking engineer who always provided emotionally and financially. He has been unable to work for a couple of years now, and she struggles to make ends meet. Because he has progressively become more irritated and combative, she had to hire a live-in help so she could manage what little work she can find, as well as make sure he's taken care of. She leans heavily on her eldest son for emotional and physical support. When asked who is the most important person in her life, she replied, "My 2 grown children, because my husband is ill and only my boys understand the severity." Late adulthood is a developmental stage when people clarify and start to use what they have learned throughout the years. When Jennifer was asked what she liked most about being in the stage of life, her response was, "To feel like I have learned and grown through my experiences throughout the years. I feel like I've reached a stage in life when I know better what to do in hard situations." Her voice softened and she paused when I asked what she disliked about this stage of her life. Her response? "I dislike that we're getting closer to the end, so to speak. We still feel like we're 21, but we're not. You can't physically do things that you really love to do anymore, and your family and friends become ill or pass away." Jennifer's physical development. She's always been an athletic individual, but because of injuries and arthritis, she has had multiple surgeries and is currently struggling with knee and foot issues that affect her mobility. This holds her back from participating in many activities she once did. When asked what she looks forward to, she expresses that she looks forward to having knee replacement surgery so that she's able to play tennis again. She says that this is something she's always enjoyed and it helps relieve stress and make her feel alive. Jennifer stays very active with the community and the youth in coaching basketball and softball. She's a lifeguard instructor for the local pool and volunteers her time teaching first aid and CPR with the Red Cross. This helps keep her mind sharp and keep her up to date with current trends. Her involvement in the community is her break from the struggles with her husband's disease, helping her find a positive perspective in moments that are the most difficult. Jennifer is a very social individual. She doesn't hesitate to start up conversations with anyone in her space. Because of her involvement in the community, she has multiple groups of friends and people that look to her for guidance. She attends church weekly and is very much involved in keeping her husband active and social. They recently took a road trip to Tennessee to see her youngest son and their grandchildren. Jennifer's emotional environment is constrained. She does receive some support through her workday, but really longs for the type of emotional support she once had from her husband. My time with Jennifer helped me realize that although we all go through various stages during our lifetime, there is constant need for relationships, acceptance, purpose, understanding, growth, and love. We want to know that we make a difference, and that when all is said and done, we mattered.